Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Hoping that you are doing fine. I'm also fine. I just welcome you to our normal episodes. And today, I just want to focus on what we have been calling light for from the beginning of this. For the last 1 year, we have been talking of the 10 2027 Commandos. Close to 1 year, we have been talking of the 10 2027 Commandos. Who are these that we call 10 2027 Commandos? And of course, I will also do a recap of various episodes that we have focused in the last 1 week. Therefore, welcome to Machuka Nyariako TV, the house of ideas. And in case you come to this channel for the first time, kindly subscribe, like, and if possible, share our videos. Back to our discussions. When I talk of the 10 2027 Commandos, what do I mean? This is a team of politicians who, after taking a keen interest on what is taking part or place in the Republic of Kenya, I established that if this group of individuals come together, they are likely to serve William Samoei Ruto a one-term presidency. And how did I arrive at the 10 members? It is because they appeared to have contrary opinions toward the ruling regime is or wants. The 10 2027 Commandos include 1. Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Matiang'i, Wamarwa, Bob Owino, Jeremiah Kioni, Natembeya, Cleophas Malala, and Ndindi Nyoro. Not leaving out the son of the former president Gideon Moi. When you see Jeremiah Kioni in this group, it means that the former president of the Republic of Kenya is entirely in this group. That is, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is in the group. Gideon Moi may not be very active because of the politics that is taking place back his home yard, but all indications indicate that he is not with the incumbent president. Actually, he will be probably the stepping point for these 10 commandos deeper into the Rift Valley region. Now, if you look at the various individuals that I've mentioned, the ones, probably the two who have not been active in this group could be Ndindi Nyoro, and Pap Owino. Ndindi Nyoro and Pap Owino. But the rest have been very active, and at least we have taken some time to discuss each and every one of them. Karonso has been very active, more especially the last 1 week. So the 10 Commandos punks on Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka for votes from the entire eastern region. They really believe that for them to succeed from the eastern part of the Republic of Kenya, that is Ukambani, Kitui, Makueni na Machakos, they will heavily rely on Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, who is currently, or for the last few days, have been traversing the region and requesting people to give them a chance to go to other parts of the Republic to look for votes. Another man from the 2027 Commandos who has been very active in the mountain is none other than Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua has been very vocal, especially when it comes to weekends. Only that as time is moving closer and closer, is increasing the number of political activities that he does within the week. But we had known him as a man who every Sunday at least has got a political activity during the church function, probably to cut on the costs. Another one, despite the fact that he's not around, is Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Okengo Matiang'i is among the 10 2027 Commandos who also is in the United States, and latest after 60 states, and as the demand increases, is likely to visit more of the states in the United States. Another man is Jeremiah Kioni. Including today, Jeremiah Kioni, for him, unlike the rest, he has gone to the list with one single item that Jubilee will or has proposed Fred Okengo Matiang'i to be their presidential candidate. Jeremiah Kioni is one of the 10 2027 Commandos because he's the Secretary General for Jubilee, and Jeremiah Kioni is actually the presence of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta in that 10 2027 Commandos. And then we have this other man, the governor for Trans Nzoia, George Natembeya. George Natembeya has some cases been doubted whether he can perform or not. But if you go back to our episodes, there is one I did that on Natembeya occupies the western region. You will come to understand that currently Natembeya is the main man in the western region. He has actually put Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula, Wycliffe Oparanya, and Raila Amolo Odinga on toes, because these individuals that I've mentioned had enormous powers when it comes to the western region part of the Republic of Kenya. But as things stands, you will be able to see that Natembeya with his Tawe movement is able to contain the tough nails from those individuals that I've mentioned, and they have to go back to the drawing board. Another one is that young man by the name Cleophas Malala. Cleophas Malala is the debut Secretary General for DCP, a newly formed political party. Cleophas Malala was before then the associate or proximity to the former impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, made him to also Ndindi Nyoro. Kindly, if you are watching for the first time, subscribe, like, and even share. You can also give your comment to this discussion. You can tell us whether you believe or whether you think these individuals that have been mentioned as the 2027 Commandos can make any difference come 2027. Kindly, if you are joining us, you can contribute by a discussion whether the individuals that we have mentioned can make any change come 2027. So we have Ndindi Nyoro and Babu Owino. Do you think Babu Owino and Ndindi Nyoro are working in the broad-based government? Are they in the broad-based government? To my honest opinion is that the two have rebelled. It's only that they are still working, and probably they are keep on what is taking place in the Republic of Kenya. I think that is very important, because some of my friends were asking me, why is it that you are using this thumbnail time and again when you want to explain maybe an incident or a political issue about Matiang'i? Instead of putting his own thumbnail, you put it with a group of people. This is because I believe that this man is not alone. He is with another team, and through this team is the only way that they can win. In addition to that, if we can examine or look at each of these political figures that we have mentioned and their political parties, you will see that these political parties and individuals come from certain areas. And as we saw when we were discussing that in the course of the week, I did focus on in one of my episodes, I did say that now it is like this team is moving from their home turfs and trying to attack where they believe that is the home turf of the incumbent William Samoei Ruto. These individuals are now moving, they are going to move from their traditional bases to national or to other parts where they do not have probably a strong support base, like now the Rift Valley and the northeastern parts. Probably they do not have support base because they have not been going to those places. Could it be once they go there, things will change? Therefore, as time goes by, this week, Matthew Nyachoti, thank you for your comment, and I can see you have said that let them not pick their front runner this early. He or she can be exposed. Yes, let them keep the opposition spirit until March 2027. Matthew Nyachoti, thank you so much. Matthew Nyachoti believes that if they do expose their candidate at such a time, it is likely that he will be faced with many issues, including assassination, of which is true, Matthew. If today they decide that, for instance, it is Kalonzo Musyoka, there is the likelihood that what will be done is to begin by it may not be necessarily assassination. They can even start buying like papers some of his close associates. Actually, they can be made to speak in tongues. They can totally be confused because you know what they have done before. Even if you go back to when the Ruto government was formed, even before he took the oath in office, a number of the opposition groups were taken. We can't know whether it was through purchasing, whether it was agreements for certain benefits or what, but also when everyone thought that even those strong people cannot be taken by the same regime, we saw the formation of the broad-based government. Therefore, Nyachoti, assassination here can mean many things, not necessarily killing. They can actually even decide that you cannot perform your duties effectively. When you go to a political rally, you find that you are being attacked. When you go to church, when you go to the funeral, actually you find even in the funeral you cannot be given a permission or an opportunity to address the people. Because the issue of assassination today is difficult, more especially to these key figures. You can only be assassinated in these days if you have not fully declared that you are on the race. When you have doubts, but when you are there, I think no one can touch you because the blame will always go to the government, and that one can affect it. So there are many ways, just as I've told you, in which you can be assassinated. They will send the taxman to your places, the anti-corruption bodies, and many others. You'll find yourself having cases in court that you have never had before. Thank you for your contribution, Nyachoti. You believe that if they keep their cards close to their chest till March 2027, I think you concur with the former president of the Republic of Kenya, who also told them not to merge their political parties as early as now. Uhuru Kenyatta did say that if you want to deal with the incumbent regime, you know, William Ruto is not a joke. If they just pray a little bit, they receive fire. So he did tell them, if you want to be successful, work within your political parties and merge when it is too late, just as you have put it, Nyachoti Matthew. Thank you so much for your contribution. And if any one of us has got a suggestion, an idea, you can always post, and from it we will always discuss. I will always add to what you have said in a very positive way. There will be no intimidation, because what we need here is to run about politics, is to explain why things are happening in a given manner, and therefore any suggestion is always valid, so long as you don't interfere with someone directly. Okay, we also I was on I think in Natembea before Nyachoti came in. Natembea, of course, who has been a provincial, a regional commander, is one person who has turned to be a very powerful man, is one person who has turned to be a very powerful man in the politics of Kenya, and probably because of his Tawe movement, which resonates so well with the youth in the western part of the Republic of Kenya. Actually, when he began this Tawe movement, I saw WhatsApp groups opened all over the Republic of Kenya by various groups from various ethnic groups, meaning that his thought is going so well with many of the people of the Republic of Kenya. So Natembea is trying his best to outwit the veteran politicians in the western part. But remember, it's not always easier to outwit the veteran politicians in western Kenya. If you take an example of Moses Wetangula, Moses Wetangula has been in politics for quite some time. He has always been successful. He has never lost, I think. Unlike when his NASA friends were losing, he and his Fort Kenya groups brigade was always in the Senate or the National Assembly. So he has never been out like his friends whom he had worked with, Musalia Mudavadi, Raila Odinga, and Kalonzo Musyoka. So himself, despite him working with them, he has always been in the government. And another issue is if Gachagua was put in the debe together with uh, William Samoei Ruto, what will happen? Who will carry the day? If we have Gachagua and William Ruto, who will carry the day? Yes, anyone with a suggestion, and kindly, if you are joining us now, subscribe so that whenever we explain these issues, these political issues, you are able to get the possible meanings for the given political phenomenon. I think so much. Let's meet today 8 p.m. for another episode. Thank you so much.